back to My View. Imagine this. It's the early 1990s, and an eager teenage caddy at a golf course in Westchester, New York, catches the eye of a certain real estate mogul named Donald J. Trump. Fast forward 3 decades, and that same young man is no longer watching history play out. Instead, he's helping to shape it. I'm, of course, talking about none other than White House Deputy Chief of Staff Dan Scavino. From the early days of the 2016 campaign to the toughest fights inside and outside the White House, Scavino has been at President Trump's side in victories and in challenges. And through it all, their mission has never wavered: to fight for this country and the people who believe in its promise. Dan Scavino, you are Deputy Chief of Staff here at the White House. Thanks for sitting down with me for a little bit.
You got it.
So you are, I think, the person who has been around the longest with President Trump. You were there before even day one, Dan.
Yes.
Right? Tell me your journey, because I knew you way back when, and you were the general manager at Trump National Westchester, and here you are as Deputy Chief of Staff of the White House. It's quite a journey.
It's been the journey of a lifetime. I've been with him a little over 30 years. And over the past 10 years, in the good times and or the bad times, no matter what was going down out there, whether it was the lawfare waged against him and his inner circle, or attending a World Series game as President of the United States, or doing a campaign rally in front of over 100,000 people. No matter what, we'd be on the plane and he'd say, "You're so lucky I took you on this journey." And, you know, I say to him in return all the time, "Thank you, Mr. President, for taking us on this journey." It's been one hell of a journey over the last 10 years, in addition to the 20 years prior to the 10 years of getting involved in this crazy world of politics.
And you have seen the full transition of Donald Trump, the politician. Those early days are very different than the man who sits in the Oval Office today.
It's been an incredible transition. He was a New York City mogul and tycoon who redefined the New York City skyline. And when I met him, I was 16 years old, caddying, working in the bag room in the restaurant up at a golf course in Westchester that he came up to purchase. He's just a powerful leader, a powerful presence when he walks into a room, and everybody out there that's been in a room with President Trump will know what I mean, even before he was president. But to take the reins and be the President of the United States and lead the greatest nation on earth, and what he has done and what he has accomplished over those years, again, I go back to the journey of a lifetime, because the guy fights each and every day to put America first and to make America great again. It's been one hell of a ride.
I think about the fact that he could have been president for 2 consecutive terms, but he had the 4 years in between. And I actually am one of the people who will argue those 4 years were very necessary. I think he even was continuing to learn, even though he wasn't physically here in the White House. What's your take on that?
I completely actually agree with that train of thought, in the sense of we had a great 4 years when he was president, and all the things he got accomplished over those 4 years, despite Russia. After the conclusion of this term, he will go down as the greatest president of all time. Just hang in there, America, because he's doing it now. He's going to continue to do it.
So give me a sense from the inside in terms of how this West Wing is operating, because for people on the outside, I think they feel like it's harmonious. Everything is firing on all cylinders.
Things are working beautifully. I remember when we came in for the first 4 years, and just the attacks on us relentlessly. I remember stories of, Team Trump is in the White House. The first couple weeks, they don't even know where the light switches are. They don't know how to turn the lights on in the cabinet room, and all those stories. And then the impeachments and all the investigations started. Fast forward to the 4 years not in office. I think America got a good sense of how terrible of a job Joe Biden did. The administration, gas prices, food prices, everything through the roof. Wars breaking out everywhere. None of that took place when President Trump was in office. For the 4 years prior to that. None of it, which made it easy this go around for America to say, we need to make America great again and get that guy back in office, which the end result, as you know, sweeping all 7 swing states and winning the presidency in an electoral landslide says it all. He went to Washington. We're in the West Wing right now with a mandate delivered by the American people. and it's pretty awesome.
One of the things in 2016 that I think was very new was social media. And I remember a time when Donald Trump was not posting on X, was not on Truth Social, and in fact, was not actually inclined to get involved with social media in 2016 during that campaign. Many people would say that's the reason, one of the reasons he won in 2016.
That's so true. I remember when we first started and, we were spending the money. First of all, there were only a few of us on the campaign, right, when it all began.
Yeah.
And he had the platform, not nearly as many followers as he has now. And then as the months progressed and he started seeing the results and the views of different things and the follower count increase on Instagram and Facebook and X, he knew he had something. I think President Trump changed the entire game with social media. Completely transparent to the American people. What you see is what you get. You may like it, you may not. He's the king of social media. There's no question about it.
Well, there are only two people who can post on President Trump's accounts, on X, on Truth Social. President Trump and Dan Scavino.
We have a lot of fun doing it. And if it creates problems, it creates problems. But so be it. But we've worked together on this for 10 years, and we haven't changed the flow. Even when we left the White House and were thrown off of Facebook, we were thrown off of X, we were thrown off of Instagram. I'm saying, oh boy, what am I gonna do? He doesn't have anything. Then we created Truth Social, which has been a home run for him, and it's doing really well. And then we got back onto the platforms, and here I am. I'm still here. Still here.
You're still here.
Posting away, having a good time. I think President Trump's going to do a phenomenal job in bringing America together. We just got to keep up the good fight, fighting for what we believe in, for our children, for our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, and future generations to come.
There have been some very tough times. I think probably one of the toughest was probably July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Do you think about that day a lot?
Not a day goes by I don't think about it. I'll never forget him dropping to the ground, shots being fired, him going down, and then him fighting through the Secret Service to get up and not only get his shoe, as you heard on the mic, but the way he got up and lifted his fist and yelled, "Fight, fight, fight." That's his spirit, and that's the way that man is behind the scenes. Fight, fight, fight. He's been doing that he's been doing that all his life.
Yeah.
And then they brought him in and brought him to the hospital. I picked up his hat because the hat fell to the ground, gave it to him in the hospital. And he's there on the phone wanting to know how you guys are doing, how the family's doing. How's everybody doing? How's the family? He cared about the people that were in the room, the Secret Service agents, myself, Susie, and Walt, and Stephen. He's a warrior. He's a warrior. And that's who the American people have leading this country.
To wrap it up here, I feel like one of the things I have noticed is that this time around, it's not just that the president is trying to, do the job for the American people and work hard. He's enjoying himself this time around.
Last time, everything was Russia, Russia, Russia. Everything was investigations. And this time around, it's completely different. He's having fun. He's focused. He's all in on making this country great again. He's no games behind the scenes. And the cabinet that surround him, it's probably will go down as the greatest cabinet of all time, too, when this is all said and done. He is surrounded by great people that truly are just here to deliver for the American people President Trump's agenda, of which he promised on the campaign trail for a year and a half prior to getting in here on January 20th.
Well, you're one of those people.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're happy you sat down with us. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Honored.